Good day, my beloved students. For today in economics, we're going to be looking at the revenue theory. Revenue theory. Revenue theory. In our previous CD, we talked about the cost theory. That's under the cost concept. Now I want to look at the case of the revenue theory. That's under revenue concept. Now, we said that cost then is what it takes to produce a given output. Now, what is revenue? Now, revenue is the amount of money that's accrued to a firm from the sale of its products. I said that revenue is the total amount of income accrued to a firm from the sale of its products. Now, the word accrued means what? Generated. That means the amount of money a firm generates from the sale of its product. That is what we refer to as what now? As revenue. Now, I said that what now? Revenue theory is derived from the output function. If you've listened to the cost theory lecture I gave you initially, we said something like the cost theory is derived from the input function, but the revenue theory is derived from what now? The output function. That's what we refer to as what now? The input-output analysis. Okay? Like I explained, then I said what now? That the marker I'm using, remember I said the other time, that the marker I'm using was produced by somebody else, is now used by me, the teacher. Now, the person who produced this thing, this is his own output, but to the teacher is his own input. Now, the person who produced this sold it. He received the reward. The reward he received is revenue. But the teacher who uses this thing purchased it. He paid the price of using this. So the price he paid is cost. So which means cost is derived from what are the input function, but revenue is derived from the output function. Again, I want to look at what now? The concept of revenue. Concept of revenue. Just like we discussed in the cost theory. Now, in the concept of revenue, the first one there again is total revenue. Total revenue. Total revenue, that's TR in bracket. We said the total revenue, this is the total amount of income accrued to a firm from the sale of its products. They must always remember that a firm's total revenue, TR, is obtained by multiplying the price times the quantity. In a simple analysis, it says what now? The TR, that's total revenue of a firm, equals what now? P inside what? Inside Q. Yeah. So that means this is my TR. The simple formula says what now? Total revenue TR is equals P times Q. Okay. So which means to say I'm not saying that my TR is PQ, which means TR equals P inside Q. Therefore, I call this equation 1. Okay? Which means your TR function is price times the quantity. Okay? Then the next one, this is the first one. The number 2 is what? The average revenue. Average revenue. That's AR in bracket. Average revenue. And the average revenue is the amount of income accrued to a firm from the sale of a unit output. From the sale of a unit output. I've told you previously that anything average means 1. Okay, so we said that the average revenue is the amount of income accrued to a firm from the sale of a unit's output. Now, what this simply means is what now? My AR, average revenue, is equals what now? TR over Q, because we say average revenue is obtained by dividing the total revenue by the quantity. Therefore, my average revenue is equals what now? TR over Q. But I want to show you something now. Just watch me carefully. Now, my AR is defined as TR over Q. But from equation 1, I have defined my TR as equals what? PQ. Isn't it? Good. Therefore, I'll have to substitute, okay, my TR with PQ, which therefore give me what now? My AR now is going to be equals what? PQ over what? Over Q. Now, cancel Q. I'm left with P. So it means my AR is equals P. Call this equation 2. I don't know whether you get what I'm trying to explain there. So it simply means what now? That the average revenue is something as price. The average revenue is the amount of money derived from the sale of a unit output. For example, if this duster is sold 100 naira, okay, now the manufacturer sells one, and I'm asking him, sorry sir, how many of this did you sell? So I have only sold only one. Now, how much is the price? He says 100 naira. And I'm asking him again, what is the average revenue? It's still 100 naira because the amount of money you got from one output sold is something as the price of that one. So which means to say your average revenue is something as price. So in any given question, they will ask to find the average revenue or to find the price. It's the same. Your AR is something as your price. So that is just in this case now. Then the third one says what now? Marginal revenue. Marginal revenue. Don't forget where you are coming from. Your MR. We've said anything marginal means what? Extra or addition. Okay. Now the marginal revenue is the addition to total revenue resulting from the sale of extra unit of output. Okay. You're not selling extra. You're getting extra revenue. Add that to your total revenue. So the addition is what we refer to as the marginal revenue. And your marginal revenue says what now? Your MR equals change in TR over change in Q. Like I've said previously, your TR is your PQ. We say since we know that our TR equals PQ, therefore MR is going to be equals what? Change in PQ over change in Q. Very interesting, isn't it? Now, cancel change, cancel change. Cancel Q, cancel Q. You're left with what? P. Therefore, your MR is going to be equals P. Call this equation 3. Now, let me take you back again. AR equals P. MR equals P. What does that mean? It simply means what? Now, therefore, AR equals MR equals P. But remember, this condition is only applicable only in a perfect market. Not in monopoly, but perfect. Okay? So in a perfect market, the condition says your AR equals your MR equals your P. All right. So that is just the simple. Now, let's try to explain certain things here mathematically. Let's just make it briefly, to explain what I've done. We've discussed cost theory in our previous CD. Now we're discussing revenue theory. Now let's merge it together with this simple question. Look up there. It says, given a perfect firm's total revenue production, given a perfect firm's total revenue production of a particular product in terms of output as R, that means revenue, equals 250Q minus 2Q squared, and a total cost as C equals 10Q plus 500. The question, determine 1, the optimum output produced. 2, the price of the firm. 3, the profit of the firm. Therefore, I want to find the output produced. Now, look up now. My revenue equals 250Q. That's 250Q minus 2Q squared. And your C equals 10Q plus 500. Then, number 1 question says the optimum output produced. Now, say to find the optimum output produced. To find the optimum output produced. Please always remember that the formula says what? MR equals what? MC. Your MR equals MC is what refers to as equilibrium of a firm. Okay? We explain that better when we get to market structure. All right. But your MR equals your MC is the equilibrium. Therefore, my TR is, I want to find my MR first, then go to my MC. But my TR is R equals what now? 250Q minus what now? 2Q squared. Now I want to find the MR. Therefore, the MR, marginal revenue, is what? The R, the Q. You're not money with that system, right? Yeah, you're already familiar with that. So that means the R, the Q means I'm differentiating. We've done this severally, okay? And I know you understand what I'm doing now. So in this case now, I will differentiate. Differentiating 250Q turns to what? Good. 250. Thank you. Then minus 2Q squared, when you differentiate, gives you what? That will give you 4Q. Exactly. You know how I get that, right? Of course, this is power 1. 1 times 250, give me 250. The Q vanished. Okay? because that's differentiation rule. Now, 2 times 2 is going to be 4. Minus 1 from power 2 remain 1 power. That's why I'm saying having 4Q here. So my MR is 250 minus 4Q. Then I want to find my MC now. Then my C is C equals 10Q plus 500. Now, to find my MC, differentiate the C, the Q. Equals, here becomes what? 10. 500 becomes what? 0. Yes, you know why? There's no Q there. That's good. You know, because when we are differentiating, I've told you before, when we are differentiating, the one that has no Q is taken as a fixed factor. That's constant. Therefore, the value, when you're differentiating, it becomes 0. So my MC is 10. Why? Because this is 1 power. 1 times 10 is going to be 10. 1 minus 1 is power 0. And anything that is power 0 is going to be 1. Therefore, my MC is 10. My MR is 250 minus 4Q. To find the output, formula says what? MR equals MC. Therefore, we will go back to say my MR equals MC, which gives me what now? 250 minus what? 4Q equals what? 10. Call it like terms. Therefore, 250 minus 10 equals 4Q. All right? So 250, of course, remember, you know how we get this one now, because when this 10 is crossing this equality sign, it becomes minus. And this one goes this way, becomes plus. Good. So 250 minus 10 gives me what now? 240 equals what? 4Q. Therefore, Q equals 240 over 4. So your Q equals 240 divided by 4. We get what? 60. Thank you. That's 60 units. Yeah. That's 60. So the output produced is 60. In a simple interpretation, means for the firm to assume profit must produce up to 50 units. That's a simple interpretation of what we've done so far. All right. So that is number 1. Number 2 says, find the price of the product of the firm. When I ask to find the price, it means what now? Find the average revenue. What is the average revenue? The amount of money you got from one sold. So I told the previous that what now? Your average revenue is the same as your price. So how do you want to find the price now? Fine. Now for number 2 now, to find the price, then we go back to the formula. That was why I said initially that what guarantees success is not remembering the formula. But what guarantees success is knowing the application of the formula. What is that now? My TR is defined as PQ. Okay? So I want to find my P. What will I do? I will make P the subject formula. What would that be now? My P becomes P now equals TR over Q. Or better still, of course, that's what we'll do in this case. Or what we'll do. But I want to find out how do I get my P. Therefore, I have to look for my total revenue. My total revenue, when we come back to this place now, here is your TR function given. Okay? But remember, yeah, that's to find the price, and that was my TR function. So what I will simply do is to go back to what I have here. Okay? When I come back here, that will then give me what now? Watch me now. That gives me my P now equals TR. And my TR is this function. It's either R or TR. Still the same. Therefore, that gives me what now? 250Q minus 2Q squared over Q. Watch this. Cancel Q, cancel Q, cancel Q. I'm left with what? P equals what? 250 minus what? 2Q. I know you'll be asking a question. And the question you'll be asking out there is going to be, how come 1Q divide 2 Qs? I will explain, but let's just go on. I will explain that later. I will call your attention back to that. Therefore, my P gives me P now equals what? 250 minus what? Minus 2Q. And my Q, we got that as 60 units. Okay? Therefore, P equals 250 minus 60 times 2. Give me what? 120. Therefore, my P equals what? 130. That's the price. That's the price. Now, let me explain certain things to you. I know you'll be wondering there, how did I get this? How did that man arrive to this thing here? Dividing 1Q with 2Q. Is it reasonable? Well, it might not be, but that is the best thing, safest thing to do. But let me now take you to the, probably maybe on the long track for you to get this properly. Now, if I'm to go this way, apply what we have here, which says now, just watch it now. That gives me this way. I say P now equals what now? 250Q minus what? 2Q squared over Q, which now gives me 250 inside 60 minus 2 inside 60 squared over 60. Maybe you prefer this. Then let's multiply that. So when you now check on your calculator, you now multiply 250 by 60. That gives you 250 by 60, 250 times 60, we get 15,000. 15,000 minus 60 squared times 2, which gives you 60 times 60. You get 3,600 times 2. Times 2. You will now get 7,200 over 60. Then that will give you 15,000 minus 7,200 gives you 7,800. Yes. 7,800 over 60. Now divide 7,800 by 60. Divide 7,800. 7,800 by 60. We get what? 130. You see? And that was what we got initially. But this, of course, is a longer process. It's a long process. But going through what we've done here is a simple to do. But in case probably you doubt with this, what would have simply, what it would have been interpreted initially should be your P will now be equals TR over Q, which now gives you what now? That then gives us here as 250Q over Q minus 2Q squared over Q. Cancel this, cancel this, cancel this, cancel this. Then you're left with what now? P equals what now? 250 minus 2Q. Maybe you prefer it this way. Whichever way you go through it, whichever way you decide to pull it out, it's still the same thing. Okay? So that is the average revenue, which is the same thing as the price. The last question, we're asked to find the profit. Say, find the profit. Find the profit of the firm. Now, let's see how we get the profit now. Now, to find the profit, that says for number 3, to find the profit. That says profit equals TR minus TC. Okay? Therefore, mind you, this sign in mathematics is called pi, the value 22 over 1. But in economics, it is profits. Therefore, my TR says 250Q minus what now? 2Q squared. That's TR minus open bracket TC 10Q plus 500. When I open the bracket, it gives me 250Q minus 2Q squared. Minus times 10Q gives me minus 10Q. Minus times plus gives me minus 500. I'll then substitute, which gives me profit now equals 250. Now look up. 250 minus this gives me 240. Therefore, 240Q minus 2Q squared minus 500. It's a simple thing I've done. You know, 250Q minus 10Q gives me 240Q. Therefore, substitute. My profit now becomes what now? 240 inside what? 60. Good. That was the output we got from the beginning. My output here is 60 units. Okay? So 240 inside 60 minus 2 inside 60 squared minus 500. Let's check our calculator again. 240 times 60. 240 times 60. We get 14,400. 14,400 minus 60 squared times 2. Minus 60 squared times 2. So 60 squared times 2 give us 7,200. Then minus 500. Yeah, because 60 times 60 times 2 give us 7,200. Therefore, my profit equals 14,400 minus 7,200 minus 500 give me 7,700. Is that right? Good. Therefore, my profit is now what now? 14,400 minus 7,700. That will give us 14,400 minus 7,700. That gives us 6,700. 6,700. That's the profit now. That's the profit. So what we did here is to analyze the cost concept in relation to what now? Revenue concepts. And that is exactly what we've been able to achieve. Analyze cost theory, then the revenue theory. So the simple calculation we've done now is to collaborate the cost concept and the revenue concept to arrive at the profit x profit using the MRMC function. So at this juncture, my beloved student out there, this is where I'll draw the curtain until I come